One of the cool thing about homesteading, and that's vermiculture, that's worm farming. So back in San Diego, before we came out here to Virginia, we had an awesome worm bin, man. It was big and it was full of worms. We started a small little one out here. I'm going to show you it in a second, because today we're going to take some of them worms and transfer them over there to the garden. Here's a small little setup. I just have this little tote. I drilled holes in that so when I give them water, because you don't want them to get all dried up, it can drain out into this bottom pan, and then you can use that water for fertilizer. Getting ready to feed them some squash and bananas. And I put them in really good soil. You can see that they've been eaten, and they don't actually eat the squash and bananas. They start to mold. The fruit does, and they eat the mold. And then basically, if I can go in here, let's see what we got. There you go. So we're going to put these guys in the garden today. And then one thing too you can do is get worm castings from this. The way you do that is after they're eaten for a couple months, you just take the food and put it to one side, and all the worms will move over here, and all their poop will be left here. It's called black gold worm castings, and you can just scoop it up. You can put it into a gallon of water, like a couple spoonfuls, and shake it up and pour that on your plants, and bam! Add a little more soil to this too. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna add some soil today, and then I'm gonna feed them. So we're gonna add a little mushroom compost, which is what we used partly to build up the soil in this garden that we built here. We built a sign last night, which is pretty cool. And then we'll do a garden tour here soon, but you can see we have these individual beds with wood chips, individual beds with wood chips, all the tomatoes on the outside. The wood chips I have over there, I got them from the guys that maintain the roads out here. So when trees fall, they come by and they chip up all the wood. And I know the guy that works for the county, and he says, hey man, you want some wood chips? And I was like, yeah, that's free pathways for us. So let's give these worms some mushroom compost, and then we'll feed them. Just building it up a little bit. And you can see in the garden we have some empty rows right here, because that's the stuff that we're going to plant for kind of like the fall garden. We'll start doing that. But man, everything's looking really good in here. All organic, all natural, with rainwater. Build it up a little bit. Now we'll give them some food. And like I said, they don't eat the actual squash or banana. The fruit starts to rot, and then you'll see like furry, fuzzy, like molds and bacteria and funguses forming, and that's what the worms will eat. So, and then I'm gonna add a little water to these guys. Let me see, we got some rainwater. We collect it right here. It's in a tote that's underneath our roof. Give them a little water. You don't want to drown them. It's like just a happy, like, not moist, but a little moist. Not dry, but a little dry, you know? And then we'll put them back over there to get them out of the sun. This is the bottom of the tray. I just have 2 pieces of wood, and I'll put that little worm farm in here. So there you go. We're all set for the week. Looking good. Worms are very beneficial on the homestead. It's a natural form of fertilizer. For one, I told you about the worm castings where you can make worm tea. And also when you put them in your garden, like I'm going to dig a little hole later, put a handful in there. When they go through, as they eat the dirt, they're tunneling and they're pooping in the back. So they're leaving fertilizer, and they're leaving holes that will aerate the soil so the roots can move around a lot easier. And you don't have to have a garden to be a worm farmer. If you have house plants, you can do the same thing. And basically, instead of putting banana peels on top of the soil in your house plants, you can just put a banana in a blender with some water. And when you water your plant like that, the nutrients will go into the soil. Put a couple worms in there, and your plants will benefit from it. And also, I told you, when you make that tea, the worm casting tea, when you literally pour that over your house plant, check it out. Try it and let me know. Your plant will grow like this much overnight. We'll do an official garden tour maybe sometime this week. But here are my pepper plants. I love growing peppers. My wife makes pepper relish. It is delicious. I eat them on everything. Here's the potatoes. The potatoes will be done when they start dying and turning yellow. There's the carrots, there's the onions, we got tomatoes all around, we got like watermelon and cucumbers. Everything's looking really good. One of the things we usually do is called electroculture. That's when you take a stick, a natural stick, and you wrap copper wire around it like this, and that copper actually pulls in energy from the ether. Tesla knew about this kind of stuff. There's energy all around you coming from the sun. It's in the air, it's in the soil, and when you do that, your plants blow up. We didn't do it this year because this is kind of like a test. We want to see how it grows without that, and then we'll do the electroculture next year so you have something to look forward to. And just like worm farming is very beneficial, another thing I'm going to set up, I'll do a video for you, it's coming up, is we're going to set up a bin to produce black soldier fly larvae. That's little dried larvae that you can give to your chickens for extra protein. And in the summertime, we don't give that to them because they're out here free ranging all of the time, you know, and they're getting bugs and all that kind of stuff. In the winter time, you can give them that. And then we usually buy them off Amazon. So if you want, you can buy them off Amazon too. I'll put a little link in the description in the comment section. Just put a little nickel in our pocket. It helps out the channel. Also, the particular type of worms that you use for vermiculture, they're composting worms. They're called red wigglers. I'll put a little link in the description and comment section. Our Amazon account, you can buy them there and also help out the channel. Guys, we usually make videos about homesteading, off-grid living. We're converting this barn into a barn-dominium. We live on 32 acres in the middle of nowhere, close to nothing in Virginia, and we love it. So if you guys like these kind of videos, it'd be cool if you subscribe, hit the bell for notification, leave a little comment, give it a thumbs up, share our videos, watch them all the way to the end. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. But I'm coming home. I'm coming. I'm coming home. I'm coming. Homestead Overland, Virginia. Thanks for sticking around to the end. You know that water I poured over the worms, you know, to keep them hydrated? Well, this is what the drip pan collects, and this is bomb booty fertilizer. It makes your plants go BAM! You just take that, add it to a jug of water, pour it over your plants.